Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swanamiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Prachadine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashandeshakarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaurabhaktrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. So nice to be with all of you today. And today we are going to discuss a special topic. It's about the spiritual world. Of course, during the success mantras of Bhagavad Gita, we have discussed this topic of a spiritual world. But today we are going to discuss something in more detail. Like many times you might heard, okay, you talk about only Vaishnavas. What's the goal of Buddhist, Jainis? And there are Shankarites, who worship, followers of Shankaracharya. What is their goal? Then there are many Brahmanas who are doing Karam Kandi rituals. So where do this all people go? So that is what we are going to discuss. Now let us understand one very thing in the history of India, or how these different religious systems they emerge out. Like every one of us have heard about Buddha, Gautam Buddha, how Gautam Buddha, 2500 years before he appeared, right? He's the incarnation of the Supreme Lord. But this incarnation was something a very interesting incarnation. What is special about this incarnation of Supreme Lord that at that time Brahmanas had become corrupt 2500 years before, and Brahmanas were eating meat and Lord could not tolerate. So what will happen in the Vedas? There's a prescription of yajnas in which animal sacrifice bali is given. But the Brahmanas don't eat that meat. That animal gets a new body as a human form of life. But Brahmanas took that and started to use this as a means to eat meat eating. And Lord became very angry. He came as Gautam Buddha, and he said, ahimso parmo dharma. You leave the Shastras and don't believe in the scriptures. So then Ahimsa Parma Dharma, that was the main theme which came and from which Buddhism came. And then Ashok the Samrat, he increased this Buddhism. Everywhere he took it to China, different places, Myanmar, and all he spread Buddhism. After that, 1000 years before, thousand 1200 years before, Shankaracharya came. So Shankaracharya was Lord Shiva himself. So his purpose was to again bring the faith of people on the Vedas, right? To bring the faith of people in the Vedas, that was the purpose of Shankaracharya. So Shankaracharya preached, but he couldn't preach about the Supreme Lord as a person. So he talked about impersonalism. Impersonal means God is light, God is one, and he talked about God is ultimately light, is Brahman, is energy, is Brahman. So that's what Shankaracharya talked about. Right. So he elevated from Buddhists. They were thinking there is nothing, no God, no nothing beyond this world. So he brought no, there is Brahman beyond this world. And the impersonalistic aspect of God. If you remember, we discussed Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagwaniti, Shamyate. After that, Madhvacharya came, and his symbol was two, that God is different and we are different, and we are always servant of God. So this Madhvacharya brought is called Dvaitavad. So Shankaracharya preached Advaitavad, that there is one Brahman, and living entities will merge into Brahman. But Shankaracharya preached that, and the Madhvacharya preached, no, we are Brahman, Lord is Para Brahman. He is our master. That's how the Lord preached to Madhvacharya preached. And he defeated many Shankarites and converted them to Vaishnavas. Then Ramanujacharya came. He also preached that we are eternal servant of God, and his philosophy was Vishishta Advaita, that Ramanujacharya gave. And finally came Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave the philosophy of Achintaya Veda Tattva, that we are same in quality to God. God is Satchidanand, we are Jiva, the soul is Satchidanand. But we are infinitesimal, we are very small, we are Anu, and God is Vibhu, God is very great. So in quantity, we are very less. God is like Mahavishnu, right? From whom all the universes come, and we are very small. But the soul is Anu and God is Vibhu. But we are in same in quality with God, same quality, right? God is Sachidanand body, and we also, as spirit soul, has Sachidanand body when we are in a liberated state. So therefore, it was an evolution of the consciousness. And they're the Karmkandi Brahmanas who do yagyas to go to heaven. Like people now purchase a trick, get a visa for America, right? To get a visa for America is not so easy. But in earlier times, and you see many South Indian Brahmanas would want to go to America and have a big job and earn big money. But in Vedic time, not the Brahmanas would go. Brahmanas would want to go to heaven. They will do yagya, om swaha, and they will want to go to heaven. So that was the goal of the Brahmanas in the Vedic time. So in the same way, you see, today there are different reasons. Now, which people are called Mayavadis? You might have heard a term, Mayavadi. So who say the Lord's form is Maya is called Mayavadi, or who say we'll become God is a Mayavadi. Actually, living entity can never become God. He's always a part and parcel of God. But some people say, okay, by meditation one can become God, or we are equal to God. So such people are called Mayavadis, and they are offended at the lotus feet of the Lord, right? Because nobody can become God. God is always God. So to understand this types of people is very, very important before you understand about spiritual world. And these different people have their different destinations. Like Buddhists, they may just attain some higher planet or some, something higher planet they may attain. Then Karmakandis, they go to heaven. Shankarites, they may achieve till Brahman. Right? Shankarites, they may achieve till Brahman. But Vaishnavas go to Vaikuntha Loka, which is beyond the material universe. And the position of Brahman is like a metastable state. Like you go into space, a space satellite. It's unstable. Anytime it can come back. It cannot always permanently be there. So after spending years and years together, they again come back. Those who go to Brahma Jyoti. But if you go to Vaikuntha, there is Lord's abode, and there are different people. You feel so happy and nice that you never want to come back again once you go to once you go to Vaikuntha. There. So I'll show you one sheet and ask you to give the answers to this. So we may have to little bit interact today. Today is going to be our discussion upon these topics. I hope are you understanding what we are discussing? So here is the sheet, if you see. So you see here. Yeah. So there's a material world, a lot of dukkha is there. The material person is udas. The neutral is what? Brahmajyoti. No sukha, no dukkha. Right? Person is okay. And spiritual world, there's a bliss. So if you see the impersonalists, they will say Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. We want peace, we want peace. But bhaktas, we want to be ecstatic in a spiritual world. We want to go to a spiritual world. And people in material world, they are unhappy, right? So therefore, this is a state. So this state is person is dukhalya ma shashvatam, like person like fever. And here is Brahmajyoti, Brahmbhuta stage. Person is beyond the bodily conception, free from hanging and lamentation. And this is a spiritual world, which is a stage of happiness and bliss. Every word is a song, every walk is a dance, and that is a state of a spiritual world. The spiritual world, the world of more than. And okay, so there's an exercise. So you give me the answer. Take it like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you can write in the chat. Okay, Buddhist. So on the left side there is one option, but on the right side there are 2, 3 options. So can you write in the chat Buddhist? Which one falls through what we discussed? Yes, Buddhist. What is their goal? Any answers? Okay, Gaurav Sanyal, 0.5, Priyanka Giriraj, 2. Any other answer? 3 and 7. Okay, Shrikant is 7 and Shreyas Goswami is 3. Okay, so it can have 2 right answers. So actually the right answer is, okay, we will first go to all and then I'll tell the right answers to all of you. Okay, Buddhist. Then impersonalists, where they will attend. Which point do you think for impersonalists? And each one can have more than one also, right? Yes, so now we are talking about impersonalists. Impersonalists, okay, 9 and 10, 6, 0 and 10, 0, 0 and 10, nothing is there, okay. 2 will be 6, negative material world, okay. So some answers are right, good. So good try all of you have given, right. Okay, Vaishnavas, where the Vaishnavas? So we are all Vaishnavas, right? You're chanting Hare Krishna mantra, considering the Supreme Lord to be a person, where do Vaishnavas will go? Please write in the chat. Vaishnavas, eternal service. Oh, Suraj has been given light. Chetan Shivrama, 1. Okay, so very nice. Okay, this we will put. Many of you have given right answer. The eternal service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And answer 8. Use all material paraphernalia and service to God. So I encourage, please, all of you are write in the chat. I will be happy if all of you attend. Just write something, whatever your understanding is, right or wrong. But this is a very important concept to learn. Okay, where do Karam Kandis will go? Where do Karam Kandis will go? Fourth ka. Fourth ka 8. Second, yes, second is the right answer. And yes, 9 also. Second and 9 are the right answer. Ashtang yogis. What do Ashtang yogis do? Took a 4. Fifth ka 9. No. 3. Okay. So see, Buddhists, they will do dismantling mental body. See that? This body is the cause of all distress. So let us give up this body. This is a Buddhist concept, right? And they want to attain nirvana. And what they do, also Buddhists, what they do, they smell dead body to develop detachment from matter. You know, matter is the cause of suffering. So let us give up this body. Let us attain nirvana. Right? Okay. Impersonalists. So impersonalists, they will have their, they will want to attaining Shanti is the goal of impersonalists. You know, we want to attain Brahman, Shanti. Right? And so, and they will negate the material world. They will say, Brahman Satya, Jagat Mithya. Brahman Satya, Jagat Mithya. That Brahman is Satya and this material world is illusion only. And Vaishnavas, I told you, Karam Kandis, they want to attain heaven. And for them, rituals are more important than the spirit. Right? They are not more concerned that we are worshipping the Lord, just ritual hona chahiye. Karam Kandi Brahmana. Ashtang yogis. Now, what do the Ashtang yogis do? Ashtang yogis, they want to attain Siddhaloka, where by birth only you have all mystic siddhis. Right? So, these are the right answers. So, any questions upon this concept? I think it may be a little new concept for all of you, but it is a very important concept to understand, and I hope you like this concept. But any questions upon this? Then we'll go ahead to the spiritual world once you understand this. Are you able to understand, or you want more explanation to it? Okay, can the screen be shared with right answers? Okay. So this is the right answers. So okay, do you want, so Rajesh, she has written that you want more explanation. How many of you want more explanation? Please write in the chat if you want more explanations of this thing. Then I explain more and then go to spiritual world. Otherwise, I'll right away go to spiritual world. But this is very important part. Okay. So many want more explanation. Okay. See, Buddhists, they think this material body is the cause of samsara. If I give up this body, I will attain nirvana. So their nirvana means giving up material body. So if you read Dhammapad given by Buddha, so there the word nirvana is used for liberation. Many places, right? And for developing detachment, they will go to Shamshan and smell dead bodies. You know why? Because Shamshan, when they go and smell dead bodies, they will feel, oh, we are not this body, we are spirit soul. Right? So that's why they want to realize that we are something different from the body, that anyway, body is going to die. Now, impersonals are the people, they understand that, okay, this body is false, but there is something impersonal aspect of absolute truth. The absolute truth is something called Brahmajyoti. There's some light. So, what is this Brahmajyoti? This Brahmajyoti is coming from the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, from Vaikuntha. Like you have heard, you remember that we had discussed about. If you remember, we have discussed about the yeah, We have discussed about Vaikuntha planets, and the Brahmajyoti is coming from there. And Mahavishnu, like Mahavishnu creates these planets and everything. So beyond this Paravyoma, and I'll show you one photo of that also. Actually, this all concepts to understand is very, very important. Hmm. Once again, just making the image to make it more bigger for you. Okay, I'll open that. I will. I'm just opening that PPT where I can show you again what we had discussed. But it's going, just have little patience and you'll understand these things more better with the help of the PPT. Yeah. So you see here, so these are Mahavishnu. And from Mahavishnu comes Garbhodakshay Vishnu. So this is Vaikunt Loka. Beyond all this are Vaikunt Loka. Hmm. So this is Vishnu Trirupani. So if you remember, here we discussed Mahavishnu. So one universe is coming. Now between this universes, from this universes, what is coming? Between this is Brahmajyoti. Brahmajyoti means effulgence coming from the body of Lord Krishna or from the Vaikuntha planets. And this Garbhodakshay Vishnu, it is in the material world. And this was Shirodakshay Vishnu. So there were three planets. So this is all in the material world. And this has come from Mahavishnu's body. So Vaikuntha is what? Vaikuntha is beyond the material world. Vaikuntha, this universe is there. Beyond that is spiritual sky, whereas Brahmajyoti. And beyond that, Brahmajyoti is what? Vaikuntha planets is there. So when you leave this material world and then you go to the spiritual world. So that is the difference between material world and the spiritual world, Vaikuntha. So this impulse is they want to go into between material world and spiritual world, there is Brahmajyoti. The simple is people, they want to go there. And Vaishnavas, we want to go to Vaikuntha Loka. And where do Karmkandis want? Those who do Yajna, they want to go to heaven, which is in this material world only. Right? So I hope, is it clear? And there are yogis, there is a Siddha Loka for them. There. But the highest position is Vaikuntha Loka, and above Vaikuntha Loka is also Golok Vrindavan. So we as Vaishnavas want to go to Vaikuntha or we want to go to Golok Vrindavan, which is the highest destination. Now you want to know what happens in Vaikuntha, what happens in the spiritual world there? Do you want to know it more? Okay. So we'll discuss more what happens. So this comes in Bhagavatam first canto. So Bhagavatam third canto, it talks about what happens in the spiritual world. Now, why I'm discussing all these things? Because many of you have also participated in the first canto. So this is topics which will help you in tomorrow's first canto session also, and as well as to know very vital subject matter from Shrimad Bhagavatam. As we said, that the stories we will take. ताहे कदा भगवतो वैकुण्ठस्य मलात्मनः ययुर्वैकुण्ठनिलयं सर्वलोकानमस्कृतम्. So one time, the four Chatushkumaras, the sons of Brahma, they travel to Vaikuntha. And what they go to Vaikuntha, see what is Vaikuntha? Vaikuntha means where there is no Kuntha. So you see in this world, there is a Kuntha. Everything is filled with miseries. Any work you do, there will be tension, there will be anxiety. But by definition, Vaikuntha means where there is no tension, no anxiety. There are no exams, no projects, no summation. Everything is just enjoy. That is Vaikuntha place. Now ask yourself, how many of you just keep like working? We don't keep like working. We get bored with it. But you like the time spent with the family members. But when you keep spending time with the family members, what happens? Some relationship problems will happen. Like if us like during lockdown time, more divorce rate increase more because their uncontrolled passion, uncontrolled anger will hurt each other, and then you feel better we go to office only. Right? Then you go office, then you get bored in office, then you say okay, go back to family. So in this world, there is no permanent happiness, but we like to spend time with people who love us, right? And we like to spend time with the family. Why? Because our real family is in the spiritual world, Vaikuntha. So that is a real family in the Vaikuntha world. And that's why we say we want to go home back to Godhead, right? When you go to the Vaikuntha world. So what is happening over there? Are there also families? Are they are also enjoying? Do they have to do hard work? All this we are going to discuss. And one very good thing is in this material world there is birth, there is disease, there is old age, and there is death. But see, there is no such thing in the spiritual world. There is no death, no co-tension of COVID, right? You can freely move anywhere, no diseases, and no old age. You will never become old. And there is no Adhyatmic Klesh, Adidaitic Klesh, or Adhyatmic Klesh. It's such a happy world. And that's what all of us are aiming for. Every word is a song. Every walk is a dance. Water is like sweet nectar. And everything is so happy. Whatever you could never imagine in this world happens in the world of Vaikuntha. Why? Because there's a person abode of the Lord. Even when Lord Ram was ruling Ayodhya in this world, everybody was so happy, so blissful, so prosperous. Because the center was Lord Ram. In the same way, Vaikuntha, the center is Lord Narayan. The center is Lord Narayan, so everyone is so happy in the world of Vaikuntha. Yeah. So I say there is a purpose that Lord came as Buddha to stop the misuse of the Vedas. So that's why Buddha is considered. Because Buddha is himself the incarnation of the Lord. Okay, but we'll stick to the spiritual world. See, the material world is full of cares and anxieties. Any place you go, whether you go to heaven or you go to dawn planets, every world is full of cares and anxieties. But in the spiritual sky, the planets are called Vaikuntha because the residents of these planets are free from all anxieties. For them, there is no question of birth, death, old age, and diseases, and therefore they are not anxious. On the other hand, the residents of the material planets are always afraid of birth, death, disease, and old age, and therefore they are full of anxieties. So vasanti yatra purusha sarve vekunta murtaye ya nimittena dharme naradhayan harim. In the Vaikuntha planets, all the residents are similar in form to the personality of Godhead. They all engage in devotional service to the Lord without desires for sense gratification. You know what all of them do there in spiritual world? They chant Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Narayanaya. So always they are engaged into devotion service, glorifying the Supreme Lord. And how it is their form? Now Lord Narayan has a four-handed form. Lord Narayan has a four-handed form. So they all have four-handed form in the spiritual world. Who? Yeah. Now, do you want to go to Vaikuntha or not? My question is this. Please either write in the chat or raise your hand like this. You can give a reaction. Do you want to go to Vaikuntha or not? Yes. So you want to go to Vaikuntha, right? There. So when you go to Vaikuntha, you will also get a four-handed body in the Vaikuntha. And such a body will not have what? Diseases, old age. Now just think about if you have to go from one place to another, you need to take a railgadi, flight, or a car or something, right? Because we are bound by this body. But if you're in Vaikuntha, you don't need all this. You can just desire. A spiritual body is very light. You just desire, and wherever you desire, you can go. In material world, spiritual world, whole property, everything is yours. Why? You're Lord's servant in the Vaikuntha world. Lord has given you your own form. But the Lord has given his own form. They never call. If somebody say also by missing Narayan, so no, we are not Narayan. We are servants of Lord Narayan. So like that, people will say. So this is the integrity in a spiritual world, right? The Lord is giving, see, Lord is so merciful, he gives his own form to his devotees. But devotee says, no, we are servants of God. Right? And they're so humble that and they're a kalpa vriksha, desire trees. You desire anything, it will come. Like now you desire, let a helicopter come. Actually, you don't need a helicopter. There is very nice. Now Nilima is asking, how did Shishupal, the enemy of Krishna, given four hands? Array, if even Lord kills somebody, he goes to Vaikuntha. Like whatever the soldiers were killed on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, killed by the Lord, they all went to Vaikuntha. But there's a qualification required to go to such a planet named Vaikuntha, to go back home, back to Godhead. So whatever you see, the training you're getting now, right? You're hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, you're chanting Hare Krishna, and we say don't eat meat, eat prasadam. So all this training is required to go there. Like suppose if you have to go to America, right? You have to know if you go for a visa, if you go to embassy, American embassy, where you have to get a visa, they will first check your spoken English. If you don't know English, you won't get a visa to America, right? All of you know this, right? If you don't know English, you will not get a visa to America. Then you need to have some bank balance, right? And you also need to having no account of past crime. If you have any crime record, then also they won't give you visa to America, right? So all these things you require in order to just go a small place like America, where nothing much COVID cases are so much. To go such a place, you need so much. But to go to spiritual world, what you need? And that's what Srimad Bhagavatam is giving you, that what is needed to go to the spiritual world. It is opening the door. The Srimad Bhagavatam is opening the door to the spiritual world. And that's why we see we are going to discuss. I said that we are having this first canto. In first canto, we will systematically will learn how we can go to Vaikuntha within this lifetime. That next lifetime will end up in Vaikuntha when this lifetime is over. So that's the whole preparation we are doing by attending this Bhagavatam classes and everything. So are you happy to know about it more? Okay, so let's learn. And you don't have to go for a job there. There is no job, and you don't have to raise children, with so much hard efforts. See, and more things you will learn what is there in Vaikuntha. Yatra chadaya pumanaste bhagwan shabda gochara Sattvam Vishtabhya Virajam Swanam no Medayan Vishan. In the Vaikuntha planet, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is original person and who can be understood through the Vedic literature, is full of the uncontaminated mode of goodness with no place for passion and ignorance. He contributes religious progress for the devotees. So, how you can understand the kingdom of God? A spiritual sky Vaikuntha only by knowing from the Vedas, like Srimad Bhagavatam. No one can go see it. In the material world also, one who is unable to pay to go to a far distant place by motorized convenience can only understand about that place from authentic books. Similarly, the Vaikuntha planet and the spiritual sky are beyond this material sky. The modern scientists who are trying to travel in space are having difficulty going even to the nearest planet, the moon, to say nothing of the highest planets within the universe. There is no possibility that they can go beyond the material sky, enter the spiritual sky, and see for themselves the spiritual planets Vaikuntha. Therefore, the kingdom of God in the spiritual sky can be understood only through the authentic descriptions of the Vedas and the Puranas. In the material world, there are three modes goodness, passion, ignorance. But in a spiritual world, there is no trace of the modes of passion and ignorance. There is only mode of goodness which is uncontaminated by any taint of ignorance. Now, very amazing thing in a spiritual world, there is no passion and ignorance. That means nobody will fight with you, nobody will criticize you, nobody will become angry upon you, nobody will be lusty towards either you will be lusty towards somebody or nobody will be lusty towards you. So there is no fear. See, in this world, a woman has a fear if she has to go out of the street that anybody may be lusty towards her or may not properly not behave with her. So that's why women are very much protected in India. But you see, in a spiritual world, there is no male or female. In the sense, there are male and female, but they are not like in this world. And there is no like family life. You have to raise a children, you have to work hard for raising a family. But there's a joy of family life. Like there is male, female, but both are singing the glories of the Lord. But there is no like family life. There is no sex life over there in Vaikuntha. You have to produce children. There is no reproductive system and all those things in Vaikuntha. Only just a simple happy life and even the enjoyment. See, in this world, you see, the romantic affairs are considered to be very highest between a boy and a girl. But in comparison to Vaikuntha, their happiness is so much that the romantic affair of a boy and girl look to be very pale. It is nothing. You know, the relationship between a male or a female or a boy or a girl or a husband and wife, the pleasure which is often in this relationship is nothing in comparison what the standard of pleasure people have in Vaikuntha. But there is no misery, there is no tension, there is no anxiety, and that is the Vaikuntha world. The Lord and his devotees reside in the Vaikuntha planets, and they are of the same transcendental quality, namely Shuddha Sattva, the mode of pure goodness. The Vaikuntha planets are very dear to the Vaishnavas, and for the progressive march of the Vaishnavas toward the kingdom of God, the Lord himself helps his devotees. So one good news is that see, we are eager to go to Vaikuntha, but Lord is more eager to call us to Vaikuntha. Can you imagine? See, like if your parents are in US, you're a small boy and parents are in US. So your parents are more eager to get you in US or you are more eager to go to US. Generally, parents will be more eager to get his children to US. The same way we are here in material world and our parents, Lakshmi Narayan, Radha Krishna, Ram, Sita Ram, they are in the spiritual world and they are saying, are you suffering without us? Please come back to us and we are preparing. So Vaishnavas, they are calling you on behalf of the Lord. Please come. Why are you so much engaged in this, material world, just entangling yourself? Do your duties nicely, but think about God. Chant God's holy names. Don't do any sin. Follow four everyday principles. Right? Come to sessions like this. Hear Srimad Bhagavatam. And you will go back to God at the end of this life. Purify your heart by chanting the holy name. It's such a simple thing we have to do. Right? And on behalf of the Lord, the devotees are coming. So you have to just seriously take this message. See, in the Vaikuntha planet, there are many forests. See, there are also forests which are very auspicious. And the trees are how? Desire trees. Anything you ask, your desire will be fulfilled. You want a mango in a winter season, you will get a mango. Just say any desire you have. Just think of any desire you have. Or you want to write me personally any desire you have. If you're not feeling comfortable to tell everybody, just write any desire you have in your mind which is unfulfilled. Please write to me. Then I can tell you whether you will get it fulfilled in Vaikuntha or not. Any desire you have in life, unfulfilled desire, please write it. Oh, none of you have any unfulfilled desire in heart, or little shy to tell. You can personally write in the chat. So Akshay is asking, can we see spiritual world having this body? We cannot see, but we can experience. So before, now you can experience the spiritual world, the spiritual happiness you can experience, and the spiritual dealings you can feel, and the love which the Vaikuntha Vasis have, and the happiness they feel, that you can feel. And eventually, as you become qualified, then you will be able to see the Lord face to face. And then you understand, that's the time you understand you are going to Vaikuntha, when the prema in the heart develops, right? And the time will come, the Vaikunthutas will come. And you might have heard of Tukaram, right? Tukaram also, Vaikunthutas came. Vaikunthutas came to take Tukaram. He was just chanting Rama Krishna Hari, Ram Krishna Hari, and they took him. I'll show you one. It's a movie, but it's actually a truth which happened. I will just show you maybe. It's not that that video is I think. Maybe I'll show you some other time. I will send you that clip. Full movie is there. 1 second.
If it is on YouTube, would you like to send me a link? I can show you. What can I show you?
आता तुम्हा सर्वांना माझं शेवटचं एकच सांगणं आहे की सुखी संसार परमेश्वर प्राप्ती करून घेता येते आणि मग मुखी आले वैकुंठ पीठ, आले वैकुंठ पीठ, जरा आले वैकुंठ पीठ. आम्ही जातो आमच्या गावा, आमचा राम राम जावा, राम राम जावा, आमचा राम राम जावा. आम्ही जातो आमच्या गावा, आमचा राम राम जावा, राम राम जावा, आमचा राम राम जावा. तुमची आमची हेची भेटी येथून या जन्मती, येथून या जन्मतुटी, येथून या जन्मती. आता असो द्यावी दया तुमच्या, लागत से पाया, लागत से पाया तुमच्या, लागत से पाया. येतानी यथानी कोणी विठ्ठल
think it's like a movie, but actually, though it's a movie, black and white movie, but it's based on a fact which happened 500 years before, right? So this happened in so this happened in 500 years before, and every one of us belongs to Vaikuntha. So even you want to live with your family, you can go with your family to Vaikuntha, right? So every because see the soul originally belonged to the spiritual world, and because he wanted to refuse to live with the Lord, therefore he comes to the material world. And therefore, you see, in this world, our families are all relative, temporary. Like, no matter you want to live with your family, either we will die or our family members will die. So, we will get separated from our family members in this world. So, this world is a temporary place. Why? The families are not eternal because they are not the real relationships we are having. But the real relationship which are in the Vaikuntha world, the real family which is in the Vaikuntha, that's a real family that we are having. And when we follow this process of Krishna consciousness nicely, chant the holy names of the Lord, then we go to that Vaikuntha. Okay. So this is the glory of going to Vaikuntha Dham. वैमानिका सल्ललनश्चरितानि शश्व गायन्ति यत्र शमलशपनानि भर्तु अन्तर्जले अनुविक्षन् मधुमार्जिनाम् गन्धेन खण्डितदियोऽप्यनिलं क्षिपन्ति. In the Vaikuntha planets, the inhabitants fly in their aeroplanes, accompanied by their wives and consorts, and internally sing of the character and activities of the Lord, which are always devoid of all inauspicious qualities. While singing the glories of the Lord, they deride even the presence of the blossoming Madhavi flowers, which are fragrant and laden with honey. So Vaikuntha planets, their inhabitants fly in their aeroplanes, accompanied by their wives and consorts, and internally sing of the characters and activities of the Lord. And while singing the glories of the Lord, they deny even the presence of blossoming flowers. So see, they have wives, but their wives are not like the wives of this world. The husband, the relationship between man and female are not like what is there in this world. It's completely pure. And they eternally sing of the character and activities of the Lord. So it appears from this verse that the Vaikuntha planets are full of all opulences. There are aeroplanes in which the inhabitants travel in the sweetest sky with their sweethearts. There's a breeze carrying the fragrance of blossoming flowers, and this breeze is so nice that it also carries the honey of the flowers. The inhabitants of Vaikuntha are so interested in glorifying the Lord, like chanting the holy names of the Lord, they do not like the disturbance of such a nice breeze while they are chanting the Lord's glories. In other words, they are pure devotees. They consider glorification of the Lord more important than their own sense gratification. In the Vaikuntha planet, there is no question of sense gratification. To smell the fragrance of a blossoming flower is certainly very nice, but is simply for sense gratification. The inhabitants of Vaikuntha give first preference to the service of the Lord, not their own sense gratification. And serving the Lord, see what is the happiness? The serving the Lord in transcendental love yields such transcendental pleasure that in comparison, sense gratification is counted as insignificant. Like you see in this world, mother, while serving you, will forget to eat herself. How many of you seen that in your childhood, mother, while serving you, will forget eating herself only in her service to you? How many have experienced that? Please raise your hand or say yes if you experience that our mothers, especially in Indian families, still my mother says, but I feel more happy see you eating than myself eating. Even now, as a brahmachari, I go home, then also my mother will say this. Right? So motherly love is what they like more their children to be happy than they themselves feeling that. Now, in the same way, you see in a spiritual world, just like mother loves a child, multiplied a million times, we love Lord Vishnu. And we like to serve Lord Narayan then more than we eating or we smelling something. Because this is the nature of love in the spiritual world. So the love for Lord Narayan is so much in the spiritual world there. And this love, and that's what we wanting, you know what? To awaken that love for Krishna, that love for Lord Narayan in our heart. And that love can really satisfy our heart. So before we go to spiritual world, we have to awaken that love for Lord Narayan there. And then we can go to the spiritual world. And while chanting Hare Krishna offenselessly, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, falling for every principle. And that's what Srila Prabhupada said. You chant 16 rounds, follow 4 principles, at the end of this life, you will go to Vaikuntha. Means no meditating, no intoxication, no gambling, right? And no illicit sex means any relationship outside marriage, right? There. And somehow you see in India, it's very easy for us to follow all these things. From childhood, many times our families were taught these things from childhood only. So it becomes so much easy to follow all this, right? And chant, like whatever number of rounds you're chanting, just keep on chanting and increase the chanting. Now the Karthik month is coming there. So okay, so we discussed many things. Okay, so two more verses I will take. And there is no envy. You see, when the king of bees hum in a high pitch, singing the glories of the Lord, there's a temporary lull in the noise of the peasant, the cuckoo, the crane, the chakravaka, the swan, the parrot, the partridge, and the peacock. Such transcendental birds stop their own singing simply to hear the glories of the Lord. Now you see, in this world, do you think somebody does nicely? So will you give chance to somebody who doesn't know it? But in the spiritual world, if a bee being, not a very good sound bee makes, but cuckoo so nice sound, but they will stop singing and they will hear what bees are saying because there is no envy. In this world, we feel so much envy, so much competition. Everybody is trying to pull the other person down. But in spiritual world, there is no envy. That is the beauty of a spiritual world. So Nilima is asking a question, how you can be so sure of what happens in Vaikuntha? See, that's why we have to have understanding of Vedic scriptures. So in Bhagavatam is saying that this happens in Vaikuntha, so this happens. Now with our senses we cannot know what happens in Vaikuntha. But there are many things in scriptures you can directly prove them true. And there are some things which you have to just put faith, but you follow the process. See, the Bhagavatam gives the process by which you can go. So when you follow the process, you can see the transformation of heart. And you will see Vaikuntha will appear in your heart. Those qualities we are talking about in Vaikuntha will appear in your heart. You won't become angry. You will give up selfishness in our heart. We will want to love everybody. We will not be worried. We understand we are not his body, we are spirit soul. So when you follow the process given by Bhagavatam, then you will see those qualities which are mentioned will happening in the material world only. And then that's why you can see devotee association looks so nice. Of course, many of you may not have experienced a devotee association, but those of experience, as compared to material world, the devotee association looks very nice. Why? Because we're developing those qualities what is in Vaikuntha. And therefore, this world also looks like a Vaikuntha for us. Means there's all happiness there. Like I'm personally living in a temple in Shishadipura. Now it's a kind of Vaikuntha because morning you get up, glorify the Lord. Lord gives you prasadam, right? There. But of course, this material body will put challenges. But to the degree we're absorbing that consciousness, we're actually living in Vaikuntha. Because temples are embassies of Vaikuntha. Because what goes on? Morning you get a Mangalarti, glorify the Supreme Lord. Right? So now our new temple, Jagannath temple, has uh, opened. So our Lord deity shifted to in a bigger temple hall, bigger place. So all of you are invited to come and visit anytime. And if you come morning 7:30, the Darshan Aarti happens. Morning 4:30, Mangal Aarti happens. So you can take benefit of this environment. And now the Karthik month is coming. Very special this Karthik month, Damodar month. So you can increase the devotional service more and more by hearing more Srimad Bhagavatam, by chanting more the holy names of the Lord, right? There. And if you're coming to temple, you may put a WhatsApp message to Hemang Haldar Prabhu, that Success Mantra group, so they can inform me that you're coming, or some facilitator will be there to help you or something. If you're coming to temple, if you're in Bangalore, so let us know. And even there is no envy, there is no, all relationship, everything is happy and nice. So okay, so I'll show you one. We'll do one more exercise finally for what is difference between material world and spiritual world. I hope you would have got it by now. So this we had learned, right? So now difference between commonalities between material world and spiritual world. So you see, so what is the differences between material world and spiritual world? So material world is made up of 24 material elements. Spiritual world made of spiritual elements, means Satchitana. The body is Asat, Achit, Nirana. So spiritual world, it is made of which? Satchitana? Yes, spiritual world is made of. I want answers from you on chat, then I will keep writing. Are you able to hear me? Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Yes, Guruji, we are able to hear.
Okay, okay. I think my chat was not. Once again, this stop share. Yeah. Okay, Satchidanand, right answer. So keep writing. So it is Satchit Anand. I think one setting is to change this. Okay. Yeah, threefold miseries, no misery, only mirth and merry. Good. And what is in the material world? Krishna is the center of everyone. So who is the center? Who is the center in material world? Ourselves. We make our false ego is the center. I am very great. I want to enjoy. Right? So become ourselves. Bodies are made of matter and spirit. In the spiritual world, bodies are made of what is the answer? Spirit only, right? So in material world, there's material obligations to office and people. In spiritual world, is there any obligation? No. Oh, we are getting, no material obligations in spiritual world. Only service and transcendental love. In material world consciousness, I want to enjoy. What is the consciousness in spiritual world? I want to serve Lord. Very nice. I want to have responses from others also. So I know that all of you are learning or not. Only 2-3 people are giving the responses. So whatever, wrong or right, don't worry, but please respond. We are here in a classroom. So classroom means everybody wants to contribute. Okay. So mentality. I am servant, friend, parent, and lover of Lord Narayana, spiritual world. What is the mentality in material world? Yes, I am superior. I want to enjoy, or I am boss. Okay. Ownership, home, money, car are mine. So in a spiritual world, what people feel about ownership? Yes, everything belongs to the Lord. And the spiritual world is, material world is temporary and miserable. Spiritual world is what? Eternal and blissful. We have false ego. There we have true ego. I am servant of Lord. So actually we have to make this change in our life, change our consciousness, change our mentality, then we can go to Vaikuntha. So what are the similarities? We have material form because the spirit within form is there in the both worlds. We have pure, beautiful, spiritual bodily form. Krishna comes in a self-same form. Krishna is a beautiful spiritual form. 6 opulences seen in minor proportion. The 6 opulences seen in full proportion. right? There are trees, plant, cows, monkey, etc. So there are also spiritual trees, spiritual plants, spiritual cows. So there is society, friendship, and love. There is society, friendship, and love, but without any tinge of selfishness. So there are emotional exchanges in the material world. There are spiritual exchanges in the spiritual emotional exchanges in the spiritual world. So in the material world, there is illusory happiness. In material world, it is. In spiritual world, it is eternal, real happiness. Getting happiness through service to oneself, family, society is the goal, and serving the Lord is the goal. So these are the similarities in the spiritual world and material world. Okay, one is remaining. We have material forms because of within. The soul has form, right? Sorry, we have material senses like a blanket over soul, but there are spiritual senses. In spiritual world, there are spiritual senses. Right? So this is the whole thing. So I hope you like to learn about the spiritual world. And so what is the way to go to spiritual world? Chant the holy names of God. So our session concludes in chanting. And after chanting, we are going to tell you about any questions till now. If you have any quick questions, 1-2 questions, please tell me. If you have any good questions. Does anybody have some questions? You can ask in the microphone also, in the Zoom also. Any questions somebody has? What question you had put, Nilima? Any other question? Anyone has any question? Okay, then we go for. Okay, how is spiritual souls identified in Vaikuntha? Oh, they have form. See, in spiritual world, we have a form. What is that form like? Like form of Lord Nam, the 400 form, that form you get, and that's how you're there. But Lord Vishnu, Lord Narayan, has a Kaustubha jewel. So that way you know that is Lord Narayan. And the brilliance is very bright from the body of Lord Narayan. So Nilima is asking, okay, by reading Bhagavad Gita will clean our soul and make us pure. Then why do we need to chant Hare Krishna? Because Krishna is saying, Satatam Kirtayanto Mam. Yes? So follow Krishna's order in Bhagavad Gita or not? So if you're reading Bhagavad Gita, follow Bhagavad Gita. Manmana Bhagavanto Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru. Remember me. How you remember? Chanting the holy names of the Lord. So chanting of the holy names of the Lord is the application of Bhagavad Gita. Right? So say to mom, what is the difference between Vaikuntha Loka and Golok Vrindavan? Golok Vrindavan even higher than Vaikuntha Loka. So Vaikuntha Loka is also eternal place, people are enjoying. But in Golok Vrindavan, there is more intimacy with Krishna. Like you see in Vaikuntha, they have Aishwarya Bhav. They are, praying to Lord Narayan. They are in that mode. But in Golok Vrindavan, you see the boys are playing with Krishna. That you don't find with Vaikuntha, that devotees are playing with Lord Narayan. They are in a bhava or in reference. But in Vrindavan, Golok Vrindavan, there is an intimacy with Krishna. People are, treating Krishna as his friend, lover, and everything. Yeah, so this is Golok Vrindavan. So Chakresh is asking why we should not offer onion and garlic, because it's a product of mode of ignorance. So there are Shastric stories which show that onion and garlic is made up from it came from the droplets of cow blood. That's one reason. Other reason, it puts us in mode of ignorance. There. So it is prohibited to offer it to the Supreme Lord. When Rajesh was asking that when you try to follow this, they will consider fool. In this world, our own people. No. See, there are 3 stages when you follow this. First, people will make fun of you. Second, they will become indifferent. And third, they will keep crying and come to you. Please tell me, we will also want to follow. So initially, you will be tested. How much is your distant determination to follow? So Krishna will send people who will make laugh. Ye kya kar rahe ho? Baba ban gaye. Ye kar rahe ho? Tum to sadhu ban gaye. So like people will talk like that. Then they understand, अरे इसको कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. Then they will, not make fun of it. And then after some time, when they have problem, they will come and confide in you. See, I'm also facing problem. What you are chanting, please tell me also. And I can give practical example of my sister. So previously she used to make my fun. You know, भैया ये क्या कर दिया, ये क्या किया. Then she became indifferent. इसको फर्क ही नहीं पड़ता है. And now she calls me and asks, भैया please tell me more about Vaikuntha. Tell me more about God. I have this problem, that problem. So you see in this world, when people get their reality of this material world, now they come to their senses. So don't worry about them. You start practicing nicely. Yeah. Okay, so I think not much questions on Vaikuntha. So we will do chanting the holy name, and after that, some special video to be played for you of Damodar Ashtakam. Okay. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gauratrenda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare 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 Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So thank you for chanting. So today, this Karthik month is starting, Damodar month, which is a very, very special month, and lot of Masya Srimati Radharani is available in this month. So any vow you take, any little devotion service you increase, or you show the lamp to Radha Damodar. So maybe next week we'll explain this Radha Damodar pastime, that how this pastime is so much celebrated. Radha Damodar. So maybe next week we'll discuss this. So now there is little Damodar Ashtakam. So please attend this Damodar Ashtakam. Yeah, Himantu, you can play Damodar Ashtakam now.
नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानन्दरूपं लसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले व्रजमानं नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानन्दरूपं लसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले व्रजमानं यशोदाभियोलुकलाधवमानं यशोदाभियोलुकलाधवमानं परमृष्टमत्यन्ततो धृत्य गोप्या नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानन्दरूपं लसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले व्रजमानं नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानन्दरूपं लसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले व्रजमानम् रुदन्तं मुहुर्नेत्र युग्मं मृजन्तं कराम्भोजयुग्मेन सातङ्कनेत्रं रुदन्तं मुहुर्नेत्र युग्मं मृजन्तं कराम्भोजयुग्मेन सातङ्कनेत्रं मुहुश्वासकं पात्रिरेखाङ्ककण्ठ स्थितग्रैवं दामोदरं भक्तिबद्धं मुहुश्वासकं पात्रिरेखाङ्ककण्ठ स्थितग्रैवं दामोदरं भक्तिबद्धं नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानन्दरूपं लसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले व्रजमानं नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानन्दरूपं लसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले व्रजमानम् लीलाभिरानन्दकुण्डे स्वघोषं निमज्जन्तम् आख्यापयन्तम् इतिर्दृक्स्वलीलाभिरानन्दकुण्डे स्वघोषं निमज्जन्तम् आख्यापयन्तम् तदीयेषिताग्नेषु भक्तैर्जितत्वम् पुनः प्रेमतस्तं शतावृत्ति वन्दे तदीयेषिताग्नेषु भक्तैर्जितत्वं पुनः प्रेमतस्तं शतावृत्ति वन्दे नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानन्दरूपं लसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले व्रजमानं नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानन्दरूपं लसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले
Darshan of Sheshadripuram temple, Jagannath Baldev Subramanya ki Jai, live darshan. This is Shri Jagannath Baldev Subramanya, and now we are going towards Damodar. Please offer your lamps now, in case you haven't. This is Damodar.
बालं सदा मे मनस्या विराजतां किमन्ये
Hare Krishna. I hope you like the. This is our temple Damodar Ashtakam going on, and so we showed you our new temple. This is our new temple hall. You can see it's very big. So I'm in the new temple hall where our Jagannath has shifted. So I just came running from my ashram and thing. So you are invited to the temple. So I hope all of you get a chance to offer the lamp. So you have got a Damodar photo, right? You have to, no, it closes by 8:30, not 8:45. So if you have a Damodar photo, so please offer the lamp to Radha Damodar every day, either morning or evening, and we'll send you. You can hear this Damodar Ashtakam or sing it, right? Thank you very much. Right. So Prabhupada ki jai. And tomorrow we will meet for this first canto Bhagavatam. Those of you register at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. So you'll get the more details about it. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
बालं सदा मे मनस्या विराजतां किमन्ये नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानन्दरूपं लसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले व्रजमानम् नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानन्दरूपं लसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले व्रजमानम् इदं ते मुखाम्भोजम् अत्यन्तनीलय ऋतं कुन्तलैस्निग्धैरक्तैश्च गोप्या इदं ते मुखाम्भोजम् अत्यन्तनीलय ऋतं कुन्तलैस्निग्धरक्तैश्च गोप्या
So Hare Krishna, we are running out of time, so we will actually send this YouTube link to you in the WhatsApp group. So please watch it at your leisure time and relish Amadarashtakam. Thank you very much, Hare Krishna. Tomorrow, Sunday morning, 10 a.m. sharp, let us meet for the Srimad Bhagavatam class by His Grace Praji Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you all for joining in. The link, in case you haven't registered, please do so. And let us meet tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Thank you very much.